It's Wednesday, September 2nd. Welcome aboard to this edition of Barnstable Today. I'm Kevin Friel.
And I'm Andrew Gobiel. Thank you very much for joining us. A quick reminder, of course, that all of the meetings we cover and discuss can be seen on our website, www.town.barnstable.ma.us.
Now, we're at the foot of Scudder Ave here in Barnstable Village. Andy just had an opportunity to speak with Barnstable Shellfish Constable, Doug Calway, about the recent shellfish closure.
Explain which beds are closed and why. Why does this excessive rainfall constitute the closure?
Well, the State Division of Marine Fisheries has a threshold closure for most towns on the Cape. In Barnstable, it's 4 inches of rain. We get closures town-wide. But in this case, the only area that got 4 inches of rain is the north side. Primary Barnstable Harbor, the Barnstable Marshes, Scorton Creek, yeah, all the way down there. And the south side came close to the 4-inch threshold, but it didn't make it. So DMF came down yesterday because they want to try to reopen the places as soon as they can. Because
Department of Marine Fisheries.
Marine Fisheries in the state, they have a lot of people who have grants out here. And there's a lot of people who like to recreate out here, and there's commercial wild fishery.
Sure.
And it could be thousands of dollars a day if it's not open, especially coming up on a holiday weekend. Like I said, Division of Marine Fisheries, the state division, tested yesterday, and hopefully
Tuesday. Yeah.
We'll hopefully get the tests back today or late tomorrow at some point.
So hopefully these areas that are closed right now up here on the north side will hopefully be open in time for the weekend.
It's not an unusual. It's a standard. It's more of a health type of thing between the shellfish, the tides. We get that much rain that exceeds that 4-inch threshold. It can get a lot of stuff from the banks of different road runoff and a whole host of things.
So is that what it is? I mean, when you've got all that excessive rain coming in, it's the road runoff, it's the runoff from the area that heads on into the water and affects the shellfish beds.
A combination of things between a lot of ducks and geese out here, and between that and the road runoff, and it's an overall it's a safety type of thing for the state to monitor, and they don't take chances.
Sure.
They haven't tested it to close it. Just that 4-inch threshold indicates a closure.
How important, in a general term right now, how important are the shellfish licenses as the shellfish industry to the town of Barnstable?
Oh, it's very important, especially not only for, mostly for public, for recreation, because we have, every year, they seem to increase by 100, 200 recreational permits a year. And there's probably 46 or 47 commercial wild fishery people. And over here, getting back to when the rain closure, we have probably 56 different grants out here.
Sure.
And we have to call each one personally and leave a message or talk to the person and advise them it's closed because they can't sell any of their product or anything.
Now, when you say grants, what are you talking specifically about? Describe what a grant is.
Well, grants in this harbor over here, there's probably each person who has an aquaculture grant has a 2-acre site. Most of them are 2 acres. And the fee for that is $25 per acre per year. And they grow oysters, quahogs on that 2 acres. And they can sell them to wholesale or retail, you know, and a lot of them get a byproduct of soft-shell clams out here. It's quite an investment, and it's a lot of work. And sometimes around holidays, that's when they sort of can make the best for their stock. And to have it closed right now, it's a big deal. People call the office all the time. Every hour there's somebody calling, want to know if it's going to open or when it's opening.
And so we're waiting to hear back sometime Wednesday afternoon, maybe Thursday morning from the DMF to find out how the testing went.
And again, we will post it on the TV channel, and we'll call each grant holder, and we'll post it all along the shorelines to make sure everybody knows that we can get the word out.
You know, it is an absolutely beautiful day here on this Wednesday afternoon, second day in September. This isn't a bad gig for you, is it?
No, I love the job. Yeah. It's how can you hate this?
Yeah.
I mean, it's very scenic, and Cape Cod's a nice place. So, of course, I'm partial, but that's the way it is.
Very good. Now, we were talking earlier. We interviewed Chris Clark a few weeks ago, and she was talking about the increase in the number of shellfish licenses that have gone out there. And she also said that as a result of the economy, there may have been an increase. People actually not just going out there for recreation, but I mean, it's a wonderful way to catch your dinner for a week.
Oh yeah, a lot of people are doing that.
Yeah.
And sometimes they come and get their limit, which they don't usually do. They give it to friends or neighbors that they really can't come out or don't have the time to come out. It's a whole, I mean, it's fun. Some people just like to go.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they don't really eat them themselves, but they enjoy the scenery and the fresh air, and they just quahog for the neighbors and friends. So.
Talk a little bit about the outreach programs as well. Chris has been instrumental in trying to get out there, and the town has been instrumental in trying to get people to learn how to shellfish, and how have those programs been going?
They go very, very well. Yeah. Chris has done a great job as far as getting volunteers and her different classes she's had to learn to quahog, learn to soft-shell clam, learn to oyster. And one of the more important ones, or the popular ones, are the kids programs they have. They have, 60, 70 kids at some of these classes, and they bring along their grandparents, their parents, mom, dad, who really don't know much about shellfishing either. And the kid has a blast, and then they say, well, this isn't bad. I like it. Maybe I'll try this. And that has, I think, a lot to do with the increase in license fees, all the classes and all the outreach they do. But it's a good thing. It's a fun thing to do.
Now, how about as far as the programs, and as I had said, we interviewed her a few weeks ago, and she was talking about the shellfish propagation right now. I mean, has that seen a dramatic increase in the number of shellfish beds out here in the town?
Increase, a lot of times, but increase in stock there is because, I mean, we're getting the larger seed now. We have fluffies that Chris Clark does on the south side, and she's perfected her growing techniques over the years. And there's the sign says oysters here. We do a lot of remote set oysters. And again, if you do it 8 or 10 years in a row, you get to know how to do it properly. But it has increased a lot. Chris has grown a lot of stuff and put it on in the 3 bays on the south side, and it's increased dramatically as far as the stock.
And you mentioned oysters a moment ago. We showed that sign that says oysters closed. That's not as a result of the rainfall.
Oh, no.
It's just not oyster season right now.
Right. It's just not oyster season. And right now there's a remote set of oysters that the new class is coming here. And most every day they're down here separating them and doing different things like that. But these beds will open probably in late October, early November. And as you know, it's a very popular item. And the big cars are sculling, which we are at, and packed in. It'll be almost all the way out to 6A.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's all the way. I mean, it's a few hundred yards down, and it gets packed.
Yeah.
I can imagine the neighbors,
Well, they don't really say much.
Yeah.
So it's a limited time. It's only 3 days a week maximum, so it's all good.
Talk a little bit about, and we were discussing this before we went on camera, about hunting opportunities here in the town and shellfishing opportunities. I mean, it's not just here. I mean, you guys actually stock pheasant over in the conservation areas, correct?
Yeah, I think probably October 10th, pheasant season, upland game starts, which includes pheasants, rabbits, grouse, quail. But we just primarily get pheasants from the state up in Bourne, and they in turn get them from the western part of the state. And every Friday and Monday we go up there and we get pheasants to release in the conservation areas, Barnstable, and on Sandy Neck. And it's a popular thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've noticed since I've been here, the hunting pressure doesn't seem to be anywhere near what it used to be 20, 30 years ago.
When you say hunting pressure, you mean the number of people who are out there hunting?
The number of people that are out there actually hunting.
Yeah.
The migratory birds has changed dramatically also.
Yeah.
Well, a lot to do with building and just the overall generation change.
Sure.
I don't think they're as an avid outdoors people hunting-wise as their parents were.
Well, it's much easier, much more comfortable, rather than sitting in a duck blind at 5 in the morning when it's 2 degrees out. You can sit inside and just play on your computer.
Well, yeah, that's good. You could do that in the duck blind too,
Yeah, I suppose you could. That would be a very good idea.
Again, that was Barnstable Shellfish Constable Doug Callaway speaking with Andy Gobeil about the recent shellfish closure. Stay tuned for updates as to when the opening will come back.
Here's an update on the upcoming meetings for the town of Barnstable.
On Wednesday, September 2nd, the Hyannis Main Street Waterfront Historic District Commission has a meeting at 7 o'clock in the Selectmen's Conference Room.
And the Town Council meets at 7 o'clock in the Town Hall Hearing Room on Thursday, September 3rd.
Thanks for joining us today. I'm Kevin Friel.
And I'm Andrew Gobeil. Have a great night.